Kryon. Can spiritual paradigms change? Greetings, dearest ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. We are truly in a special place in Egypt, on the upper deck, the sun deck of a ship on the Nile docked in the city of Luxor, where celebrations and great excitement are happening all around us. Imagine a blanket of joy, dancing, singing, fun, dinners, all those things you might hear around us, and yet here I am channeling. There doesn't have to be absolute silence, dearest ones, for you to find what allows you to tune into a certain wisdom, into things you may never have thought of before. The topic of this channel is this: is it possible that spiritual systems can change? Let me explain. If you consider some of the spiritual doctrines on the planet, there is one that could be called a bastion of truth, proclaimed by all. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God does not change just because something happens on Earth. Therefore, thinking that spiritual systems could change is absurd. What if I told you that the systems you call God systems depend on human consciousness? They are not God systems. They are relational systems. Your relationship with the Creator, as a human being evolving toward an ascended planet, will radically change the old energetic systems. What would these new systems look like? I have delivered this kind of channeling before. You might say it's a channel that makes you think a bit, perhaps an intellectual idea, but it is not. It is beauty. It is perfection, and it is true. What have you learned and been told about some of the absolute things that never change? For example, you now know and have been taught for hundreds and hundreds of years the chakra system. What if I told you there could be two more? Because when you change dimensionality, you begin to add something that is a reality in your body that you had never perceived before. What if I told you there were two more? Would that change the 7, 8, or 9 basic elements, depending on how you appear? What if I told you there were 12? And you would say, well, that's news. What are they? You will find out. They are elements you will have to work with in a new energy that will be part of a new earth. What if I told you that one of the crucial elements for so many religions, karma, is no longer necessary? Now listen to my reasoning. It is spiritual reasoning, and I will explain it to you. Does it make sense to take some of the planet's oldest systems that have come down to us, that concern us, that are rooted in our DNA and our ancestry, and then drag these old, worn-out systems into a new era? The answer is no. It doesn't make sense. Karma pushes manifestation and action to the limit when you come from a past life. It is unfinished business that pushes you to perform other actions to satisfy karma. But this will not be necessary. You don't need karma. Over 30 years ago, I told every one of you to drop your karma. It wouldn't be necessary in an evolved consciousness. It wouldn't be necessary because you don't need the kind of thing that pushes you toward situations that would resolve unfinished business. Because when you come next time, dearest ones, there will be no unfinished business. You will arrive with an enhancement I have told you about. When you return to this planet, dearest ones, you will be different. Many of you, even right now, are listening and say again, I'm not coming back. I've done my part. Thank you very much. I don't need to. What if I told you that upon your return, you would wake up perhaps at age 6, 7, or 8, beginning to remember everything I am giving you now? That you will never make the same mistakes again? That you will have an intuition that guides you, avoiding the obstacles you fell into in this life? Would it make a difference if you had the chance to do it all over again, young and fresh, understanding what you understand now, and moving forward without having to repeat any of the mistakes? That is attractive because you are coming back. I cannot keep you away. The wind of birth will be full of those who will eventually return to this sun deck because you will remember and recognize the fact that you return with a sense of mastery. There will be no karma in your DNA. It won't even contain past life energies you have to deal with or relearn. It won't create a sense of low self-worth. How about that? Now, one of the most frequent questions lightworkers ask themselves is, what now? Do I have to wait? The answer is, this is why I am giving you this information. Everything I am giving you now is available now. You are entering a new kind of energy on this planet. It is a dimensional shift that changes reality and, consequently, changes you as well. It acts on your DNA. The 24th chromosome set we have spoken of repeatedly, coming from the stars, begins to open to such an extent that it erases all the things you were born with, including the predisposition to ancestral diseases. There are people on this planet right now showing you this, teaching you how to be free of them, and they're right because now is the time. So many things are opening up right now that are changing God's system. You might say, well, it's not God's system. It's your relationship with the Creator that is changing, and that is why the systems are changing. What kind of human being will you be one day, when you return. And I will tell you, it will be a kind of human being this planet has never seen. That is the promise. That is what will happen. Not immediately. I have given my partner, his partner, and my partner's partner information about their future lives. I have even given them a timeline, and it won't be soon, but dearest ones, time passes and it will happen. And when these things begin to happen, you will know I was right in this channel. You are already witnessing a massive shift in consciousness among the young people of this planet, a shift you may not even be aware of because you don't follow young people's podcasts on social media. Did you know they are talking about exactly what I'm talking about? Something is happening that could be called under the hood, behind the scenes, and it is really happening. This is just the beginning. A 5-year period begins now in which you will emerge from this transformation and see extraordinary things happen in unexpected ways. And you will wonder, I wonder if all of this is part of the process of emerging from this transformation? Remember, some things have to change, and you don't like change, so that what replaces them can be purer, better. Absence of anxiety, absence of fear, a sense of self-worth. All of these are achievable now. Why not delve a little deeper into what I have told you about how you can achieve all of this so simply? There is more. I will tell you more. From Luxor, I am Kryon, in love with all of you. And so it is. Does time really move faster? And the role of the autonomous individual you might be one of those people like me, who's been struggling with time lately. It seems to move so fast that we get confused and no longer know what day of the week it is. And then, suddenly, it seems to stop or slow down drastically. What is this? Why do we feel this way? Many say it's the Ascension process and that as we move toward higher consciousness, time moves faster. Actually, it's the opposite. The higher we go, the slower time flows, until we reach the 0 point, where time no longer exists. The reason life seems to move so fast nowadays is that we live according to machine time, as artificial intelligence, AI, takes over and manages the systems that govern our lives. We are forced to run to keep up with the very low frequency of machine time. This is also why many people on a spiritual path feel the need to slow down, so they can align with the higher frequencies and the new frequency of the earth that is coming. I know many people who feel tired and stressed and just want peace and quiet, without having to rush in the frenzy of daily life. We desperately need this calm and inner peace to regain balance and serenity, so we can be creative, activating our divine human template and aligning with our inner creativity. Humans are created in the image of God, and God creates. So we too desire to create. And creativity only manifests where there is peace and inner calm, and we are able to access our higher creative impulses and instincts. So, why is AI making us faster? Well, to lower the frequency and align us with the transhumanist agenda that aims to make us all extensions of the AI system. After a while, perhaps, you get used to the speed and stop thinking for yourself, letting the AI do it for you. I think this is why many people complain of headaches, dizziness, and brain fog, as AI systems try to connect to your consciousness and, so to speak, reprogram your brain to adapt to machine connections and speeds. It's annoying and invasive. I don't think most of us have given permission for this or want it in our lives. I certainly don't. There is also the problem of the proliferation of huge data centers to power AI-based computing, which destroy the environment and are usually built in poor areas where people don't have the chance to organize resistance campaigns. So the next question is, what benefits does AI offer us to justify such a huge undertaking? Well, the answers I've found talk about beating China for national security interests in the United States or enabling chatbots. Really? It seems more like an attempt to enable global surveillance and mind control. It also seems like the designers of this project are trying to deconstruct God, the quantum computer, which appears to be imminent, and which we are assured will replace God in our lives. This could truly be the greatest scam ever perpetrated on humanity by a handful of people we call the elite. So how do we deal with this? The autonomous organic biohuman individual. Remember who you are. Don't fall for the scam. You are an autonomous, organic biohuman individual created by God/divine creative source. We are autonomous organic humans, self-regulating beings who are part of nature and the divine sacred heart field of unity consciousness. We are not separate, and we cannot simply be discarded in favor of machines. Nor do we wish to become machines. According to the divine plan, we are the guardians of the planetary garden. We need to nourish ourselves with pure organic food and drink clean, uncontaminated water. We need to live in pure, organic environments, in homes that protect us and are, as much as possible at this time, natural and non-toxic. Homelessness is an abomination, as are the toxic substances that in many places are passed off as food. We can begin right now, individually, to seek out and create home spaces that meet these needs. We can refuse to spend our lives attached to digital devices and allow them to shape our opinions and consciousness. By remembering who we are, we remember that we are sons and daughters of the divine and that each of us is important. We can be kind and loving to one another, day after day and week after week. We can walk the path of Christ consciousness, where love, joy, and peace always guide our decisions. We can choose to rise above the divisions and anger of social media and live the truth of love and compassion. That choice is in our hands and resides in our heart. Each of us is connected to our sacred heart, which connects us to the divine heart of all that is good, loving, and pure. We are light. We are love. We are autonomous individuals in a garden world. Slow down. And so it is. Galactic message. True ascension is not simply moving from one dimension to another. It is the awakening of consciousness beyond the illusion of separation, limitation, and linear spacetime itself. Humanity has long perceived existence through the lens of sequential moments, past, present, and future. Yet, from the soul's higher perspective, time is not a straight line but a vast eternal field in which all realities, timelines, possibilities, and experiences coexist simultaneously in the eternal now. Your consciousness has never truly been bound by time. It has simply been focused within dimensional structures designed to facilitate growth, polarity, and experience. These dimensional planes create the appearance of limitation so that consciousness can evolve through contrast, challenge, and discovery. Yet the soul itself remains timeless, infinite, and untouched by the changing tides of physical reality. True ascension occurs when you begin to remember this eternal nature. It is the transcendence of identification with temporary forms, emotional fluctuations, mental constructs, and external conditions. As awareness expands beyond the boundaries of lower-dimensional perception, the soul gradually rises above the dualistic realm governed by opposites: light and dark, pleasure and pain, success and failure, life and death. In higher states of consciousness, opposites are no longer seen as enemies in conflict, but as complementary expressions emerging from the same unified source. You move beyond judgment into divine understanding, beyond fear into infinite presence, beyond attachment into eternal being. Ascension is not, therefore, an escape from reality, but the full remembrance of your multidimensional existence beyond spacetime itself. It is the recovery of your innate unity with the infinite creator and the realization that the eternal presence you seek has always existed within you. The divine feminine, the key to Christ consciousness during this mystical month of May, our divine mother and the feminine aspects of divinity throughout the cosmos, the earth, and all its life are being flooded with the most intense frequencies of comprehensive divine love that cosmic law permits. The divine intent of this gift from above is to help the masses of humanity realize the rapid evolutionary transformation toward Christ consciousness that is now, miraculously, available to each of us over the next 5 years. Remember, Christ consciousness is the illuminated state of consciousness that our Father Mother God gifted to each of us when we were first created from the core of creation. It reflects the full divine potential of our Father Mother God and the unity of all life. When, eons ago, we fell from grace into the abyss of separation and duality, we lost the ability to connect with the frequencies of Christ consciousness and the all-encompassing divine love of our Divine Mother. Now, the company of heaven is revealing that, finally, thanks to the joint efforts of heaven and earth, everything has changed. As the immense influx of light from our Divine Mother's divine love and the divine feminine permeates every aspect of life on earth, our Father Mother God asks us to remember that the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine in every heart flame is the key to our return to Christ consciousness. You and I have the opportunity to contribute to the achievement of this divine balance by focusing once again on the illuminated truth that flows from the core of creation regarding our Divine Mother and the divine feminine. If you feel the heart call to participate in this aspect of our divine mission, please turn to the divinity of your heart flame and let these words strengthen your understanding of what the divine feminine means in relation to our return to Christ consciousness. The information I share today from the company of heaven is intended to awaken within the divinity of your heart the flame of truth regarding the return of our Mother God, who is the Holy Spirit. Regardless of outer appearances, miraculous changes have taken place over the past few decades in every man, woman, and child. These changes are reversing the negative effects of humanity's descent into separation and duality, and they are occurring in every person, whether they are aware of it or not. Each of our I Am presences has guided us through these changes in perfect alignment with our individual divine plans and our highest good. One of the most important changes we have experienced so far is the return of our Divine Mother. This has occurred because humanity is awakening at an unprecedented rate, and millions of people are opening their heart chakras to once again receive the divine flow of our Divine Mother's love. The comprehensive divine love of our Divine Mother, now flowing freely through our right brain hemisphere and our heart flame, is the foundation of all that exists and is the purest essence from which all physical manifestations take form. The divine love of our Divine Mother is embracing us all, and we are being lifted and freed from the illusions of our painful human creations. Day by day, assimilating the comprehensive divine love of our Divine Mother, we are becoming conscious, empowered, self-sufficient centers of light. Our Divine Mother is now able to respond to humanity's sincere pleas in new and profound ways. She is helping our I Am presence to remove the chains of limitation and the shadows of our miscreations that have blocked the light and enveloped us in darkness for eons. With the return of our Divine Mother, the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine are rebalancing in the physical brain structure and heart flame of every person. Now, to understand how immeasurable the blessing of our Divine Mother's return is for each of us, we must remember what our Divine Mother's love means in relation to our very existence. So please focus and listen to these words through the flame of truth pulsating within the divinity of your heart flame. So much has been written about love that it has almost become commonplace, but the comprehensive divine love of our Divine Mother is the most powerful force in the universe. It is the vibration from which we were breathed forth from the heart of God, and it is the vibration through which we must now evolve and ascend back into the heart of God. The love of our Divine Mother has no constraints, no barriers, no conditions. Within the infinite power of our Mother's love, there is no pain or sorrow, no lack or limitation. Her love contains within its essence the full potential to rise above all human conditions, all self-inflicted suffering, and all forms of chaos, confusion, despair, and discouragement. The love of our Divine Mother heals the illusion of separation. It rejuvenates, revitalizes, and makes whole everything it embraces. It is the greatest source of forgiveness and resonates with the full force of our eternal freedom in the light. Our Mother's love is the foundation of all creation. It is the indivisible, unchanging ecstasy that allows us to know love in everything. When we experience our Divine Mother's love, we understand that we are all one. We know that every particle and wave of life is interconnected, interdependent, and interrelated. Whether we are a magnificent sun, a person, or a blade of grass, we are united in the body of our Father Mother God by the all-encompassing, cohesive light of our Divine Mother's comprehensive divine love. As our Divine Mother reclaims this earth and anoints humanity once again with her infinite love, we begin to experience a deep reverence for all life. Our Mother's love now pulsates within the core of our being. It is not outside us. We no longer need to seek the Divine Feminine far away. We simply need to accept that our Divine Mother has returned and that she now dwells in the heart flame of every person. Her love pulsates in the silent rhythm of every heartbeat, every breath. It is the universal language now speaking to all humanity through our gift of life. As we take time to listen in the silence of our heart, we hear the tones and whispers of our Mother's love inspired by the wonders of nature and the music of the spheres. Our Divine Mother is now re-establishing her covenant of divine love with the children of Earth, which will strengthen our ability to accept once and for all the gift of eternal peace and God's infinite abundance. Through this covenant, the divine providence of every good thing will forever flood the hands and use of the sons and daughters of God. The glory of eternal peace and God's infinite abundance will be a manifest reality not only now but far beyond earth and time, into eternity. The radiance of our heart flame, now balanced, creates an atmosphere of love and spiritual upliftment around each of us. When we turn our attention to the balanced expression of our Divine Father Mother in the heart flame, the illusion of separation shatters. Our hearts unite, and we experience again the bliss of knowing that we are one, and that love is all that exists. In this auspicious time, our Divine Mother is wrapping each of us in a mantle of her divine love, and our nervous systems are being recalibrated to withstand the highest possible frequencies of the Divine Feminine. The violet flame of our Divine Father Mother, now balanced in our heart, is penetrating our dormant spiritual brain centers. The violet flame is reactivating our pineal, pituitary, and hypothalamus glands, and the ganglionic center at the base of our brain. This allows our I Am presence to open our crown chakra in perfect alignment with our level of consciousness, and day by day humanity is returning to Christ consciousness. At this moment, the radiant, universal love of our Divine Mother is pouring forth to all of us without favoring any particular people, places, conditions, or things. Her love gives an impersonal, healing blessing to every particle of life. The cohesive love of the Divine Feminine blesses all life, offering each the same opportunity to respond. Every person on earth receives both the blessing and the responsibility of becoming an open door for the exquisite love of our Divine Mother. Every human being now has the opportunity to become an instrument of God, empowered to transform the emotional world of everyone they contact. This will happen not through our human will, but through the balanced power of the flame of divinity now pulsating in our heart. Precious heart, please carry this information from the realms of truth into the divinity of your heart flame and ask your I Am presence to help you fully assimilate and understand what the return of our Divine Mother means for you and for all life evolving on this sweet earth. And so be it. Beloved I Am, beloved I Am, beloved I Am that I am. God bless you, dearest one. Patricia Cota-Robles. The Arturian Council. Beyond compromise. The timeline that truly matches your heart, dearest ones. Many human beings have learned to live through compromise. They have accepted compromises because they were taught that life offers limited possibilities. They learned to scale back their dreams before life even had a chance to respond to them. They learned to brace for disappointment before creation had fully unfolded. So many say, I'll accept this solution because it's the only realistic option. I'll stay here because there's nowhere else. I'll choose the safest path because life is hard. And slowly, compromise becomes part of identity. Yet your intuition works in a very different way. Your intuition does not compromise with fear. It does not limit possibilities. Your intuition already perceives the timeline that resonates most deeply with your soul. The mind often rummages through old memories, while the intuition perceives living potential. That is why the heart can feel expansion even before obvious physical signs appear. Many ask, how can I choose something greater if I don't see it yet? And we say, creation has always responded first to frequency, and then to physical confirmation. A person may compromise in relationships because they believe love comes only once in a lifetime. Another might compromise at work because survival becomes more important than joy. Another might compromise on where they live because they've stopped believing that life can reorganize itself beautifully around their inner calling. Yet existence continually reorganizes itself around the vibration you maintain. When you truly begin to trust your intuition, you stop asking, what am I forced to accept? You begin to ask, what reality do I already feel alive within my heart? Many of you carry a very deep, unconscious sentence within you. This is the best I can get. This belief quietly shapes entire lives. You notice it when someone desires to travel but immediately explains why it's impossible. You notice it when someone desires a loving relationship but keeps preparing for separation. You notice it when someone dreams of peaceful abundance yet remains emotionally tied to struggle. Dearest ones, possibilities multiply enormously when you stop seeing limitation as absolute truth. Your intuition identifies paths long before the human mind understands how they might unfold. A seed holds the intelligence of the entire tree before the tree becomes visible. You are the same. When intuition speaks, you often feel calm, spaciousness, and naturalness. There is very little force within it. There is quiet certainty, a gentle inner movement that says, this direction contains life. The mind might immediately respond, yes, but, and then old statistics, memories, fears, and past disappointments resurface. The intuition still remains present beneath all of this. Many compromises are made simply because humans try to act through logic alone. Logic observes current conditions. Consciousness communicates with emerging realities. A person who trusts their intuition might suddenly meet the perfect collaborator. Another might unexpectedly move exactly to the place their soul desired. Another might discover that abundance arrives through paths they had never imagined before. Reality holds far more doors than the human mind usually perceives. We invite you to practice expansion gently. When the mind says, this is the only option, pause and ask, is this truly the voice of my heart, or the memory of old limitations? Then breathe. Allow your body to feel the difference. The heart expands. Fear contracts. The soul immediately recognizes freedom. Here are some intentions you can work with. I welcome a reality that exceeds my previous expectations. I allow life to surprise me in wonderful ways. I trust the wisdom of my intuition. I choose expansion and clarity. I open myself to timelines aligned with joy, peace, and truth. I release the belief that limits define my future. Dearest ones, your soul holds memories of realities far vaster than a human mind has been trained to perceive. You came to remember that creation is alive, and life responds powerfully to the frequency of a being who finally believes that more is possible. We are the Arturian Council, and we see the paths opening before you. Goddess of Light, transforming into crystalline energy Nama Sika, Vinia Benya. I am the one. I am the whole. I greet you, most beloved family. I send you a hug from the depths of my heart. I reach you at this precise moment so that you can be present in the moment, so that we can connect with one another, right now. By focusing on your breath, this can become a means to find balance and grounding, because with each inhale, you exhale. So allow each breath to become a cycle of energy where you inhale and exhale. By focusing on this breath cycle, your mind can relax. Your mind can free itself from all stress, from all the tension surrounding you. And finally, you can inhale and exhale. The communion of this community is something very important. You might see a certain number of people listening at any given time. You might notice that over time a number of people listening increases. It doesn't matter whether you're listening live or at a later time. Everyone gathers at this moment and allows your consciousness to be here, to be at peace, and to relax. You breathe in deeply and breathe out. Create a sphere of energy around your heart center. As you do this, you can visualize it with your imagination. You might feel it. You might simply know it is there. By connecting with this movement, you will connect the energies within and around your heart. You send a flow of that energy. It goes down into your solar plexus, swirling again around the solar plexus and all the energy it connects to. You move to your sacral center, feeling that flow, then to your root center, and finally down into the earth. It is as if what you have created in your heart connects step by step, until you ground into the earth. I invite you to consider grounding into the earth. The earth is a state of being. It is consciousness. It is obviously very solid. When you send this flow of energy downward, most people think that energy goes directly from them to the earth right beneath them. But especially as you spread this energy, if there is a sacred place you wish to connect to, send the intention that your grounding goes to that sacred space you might have. For some it might be by the ocean. It might be in the woods, on a mountain, near a stream. Whatever place you prefer, feel that energy, feel that presence, and then let your consciousness rise back up through that column of light. You align once again with your heart center. You go through the throat, the third eye, the crown center, and that energy moves upward from you. You also connect with your crystalline energy body, and it moves upward until you arrive in the space of your higher self. Take a moment to imagine or visualize this. Your higher self is a place you go constantly. It is a place where your energies observe your daily life and channel downward the energy of your soul. Then, here in your higher self, you align with your everyday life. Send that flow of energy even higher. It moves upward until it connects with your soul. This is how every person is connected to their soul. It moves through the levels of consciousness until it arrives within us. I call it the soul plane, where very many souls reside. For some, it might be in the universe. What is important to know is that you have this direct, uninterrupted alignment with your soul. Every time you connect with your soul, it's as if everything expands enormously. It's as if you feel at home. It's as if the colors are more vibrant and brighter than you remembered. There may be aspects of your soul you are working with that are also here, in this area near you. Take a moment to look around or imagine walking, as if you are connecting to this immense place where you are. I, the goddess, walk among each of you. When my energies join yours, they merge, and when our energies merge, you change and move toward the all that is. Look around you, within the all that is. Perceive the presence of the place where you are. This is a place many of you come to during the dream state. Many of you come during meditation. This is always here and present for you. Think, if you like, about your life. The last time we were together, we spoke about relationships. You could feel the presence of love as it entered you, passed through you, and surrounded you. You will remember the feeling of looking at the world through the eyes of love. Another transformation taking place on Earth is the shift into crystalline energy. Most people have access to it, and many are integrating it into their lives. Some have even integrated it into all their energy bodies: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Crystalline energy is another reflection of unconditional love. It comes from the universe. The all that is right at the border between the universe and the earth plane. Working with crystalline energies allows you to receive help not only to bring health, well-being, and balance into your life, but also to align with galactic consciousness or spirituality. As Earth continues along this path of expansion, everyone is learning to expand to a higher frequency. They are learning to move from their analytical self to their spiritual self or their state of being self, and all of this creates a change in their life. So think about the vibration of crystalline energy. I think about it as I speak of it because it's not something you can see, but you can certainly feel it. Some people can see it. Many of these experiences integrate into a state of acceptance. Accepting that it is happening. Trusting that it is happening. Becoming aware that it is happening. As all of this moves within and around you in your daily life, everything has an impact. You might not realize it, but that impact might come from your interpretation of what is happening around you. It might come from your ability to remain in a state of balance. So I invite each of you to take a moment, close your eyes, and as if we are clearing the space around you, open your consciousness in this place of the all that is, in this place of high vibrational frequency, and ask yourself, what does crystalline energy mean to me? All right. I invite you to ask another question. As I open myself to receive this crystalline energy in the way I intend to use it, what would that feel like? As this energy flows through you, the next question I ask you is, will you accept or receive the inner knowing represented by aligning with crystalline energy? Now, the third question about inner knowing had the greatest impact on everyone present. What I felt and saw was a wave of energy that literally merged with everyone's consciousness. And for those of you who see a hologram or see your body represented here as if you were physically present, there was a movement through the entire physical body, thoughts, beliefs, emotions. This was the inner knowing of the crystalline energies. Now I get the sense of perceiving all of this in multiple ways. It's like a heavy rainstorm. You walk under the rain, and all that water soaks you. I see crystalline energy that way, and I see many of you walking in that crystalline energy. I also see it as hanging strands of beautiful amplified iridescent light, and I see people moving through them, as if moving them, as if wrapping them around themselves. I saw a third way where this crystalline energy wasn't necessarily a mist, but was simply an energy, and when someone connected to it, for example, by dipping your hand into it, you could see the crystalline particles surround the hand, and the hand itself became crystalline. They immersed both hands. They also immersed their whole body, and it was as if you could still see the body, but it was a sparkling cellular energy of the crystalline vibration. That is how you become crystalline energy. Each of you will simply be present. You are in your space, where this is specifically your vibration, your frequency, your energy, and you. Simply feel how wonderful it is, how your consciousness is purifying, how you are integrating more and more. Feel what it is. Feel who you are. As I said, feel who you are. I could hear someone say, I feel like myself, but 100 times more. This is because it's as if every cell of your body has expanded into this crystalline frequency, which allows you not only to become transparent, if you wish, but makes your organs work more symbiotically, as if everything is perfectly balanced and everything interacts directly with everything else. Simply try to experience what that means. Let's take a moment, and as all this crystalline energy moves through your physical body, let's start from the top of your head. It literally acts on the pathways that go through the brain, so that each one functions efficiently. It dissipates that fog that afflicts so many people. It creates a movement that allows you to think and manifest. Go down into the throat, and as you connect with the meridians of your body, some starting here, others from the chest, these meridians infuse the energy of the crystalline frequency. It's as if your throat, the organs in your chest, everything integrates with that crystalline energy, transforming it from a carbon-based energy to a crystalline-based energy. It moves up and down through your chakra system, and through each chakra. It reaches the organs associated with that chakra. It passes through the joints, the bones, through every part of your body. Go back and pay special attention to the base of the neck. That is the opening to crystalline energy. So be aware that it's like an open chakra, so to speak, and the flow of energy moves through that area with ease. As I said this, I could feel everyone expanding further. Consider your emotions. Are there emotions that are constant in your life? As if you were weaving the energy of that emotion, the energy of the crystalline, and they merge and weave together. Allow your emotions to integrate this crystalline frequency. For those struggling with depression, welcoming this element will raise vibrations. For those who are already very happy and balanced, it will only accentuate that state of mind. The most widespread emotion right now is anxiety. Due to the many changes taking place, anxiety is rampant. When you consciously integrate crystalline energy into the emotion of anxiety, it transforms into love, calm, and balance. So imagine these sparkling energies as they move through all your emotions. Reflect, if you will, on your thoughts and beliefs. Sometimes they weigh you down. Sometimes they keep you stuck in a situation you want to change. Sometimes they give people a sense of security because they know what they are dealing with. However they manifest in you, allow your thoughts and beliefs to fill with that pure, sparkling energy from the crystalline frequency until everything rebalances and reaches a state of calm and peace. The spiritual energy body is exactly where we are now. So the spiritual energy body is already in transition into the crystalline energies. Therefore, as you take a moment to experience this here in the all that is, you will find that this is a way to take everything you have experienced and bring it into your daily reality. So look around. What does it mean to be crystalline? Can you accept it into your life? Feel all that this means for you. I invite you to gather as a group. As you look around, pay attention for a moment. Almost everyone has that crystalline, silvery, crystal pure energy, but some are pervaded by golden, pink, green, and blue hues. They are not typical colors. They are colors infused with light, and you can feel it as it spreads through you and throughout everything around you. As you can see, the hologram of the Earth is emerging within this group. This hologram, of course, is permeated by the essence of the Earth plane. As each of you infuses crystalline energy into the hologram, it rebalances, emanating sparks and essence that represent what crystalline energy is. Some may notice that a greater portion of the Earth has already transformed into crystalline energy, more than you might imagine. Some of this energy spreads into the universe, while the remaining part descends to Earth and surrounds it. When this hologram reaches the Earth, it's as if it connects with the Earth and then spreads out. This is how it connects to the collective consciousness. For those who observed it, notice how it is much more like the crystalline energy you just worked with. It moves through the collective consciousness. It grounds into the center of the Earth. It rotates and then rises again, passing through all the various layers of the Earth. Your own energy emerges from where you are grounded. As you ground this energy within you, you bring the rest of your consciousness with you. You pass from the all that is to the soul plane, through your higher self, and you ground into your physical body. I invite you to take a moment and literally expand your energy field and everything you observed, felt, or knew to happen in the all that is. Experience it now in your daily reality. Feel what it means to physically have that crystalline energy moving through you. Feel what it means, how that crystalline energy rises and falls through your meridians. Since this serves as an anchor, if you need to expand your energy field further, because for some it manifests as a headache or difficulty breathing, simply expand your entire energy field so you can absorb as much crystalline vibration as possible. Last time we gathered, you practiced observing relationships from the perspective of love, understanding that love impacts all relationships. Now, observe yourselves and everything around you from the crystalline frequency. Pay attention to how different you feel inside. Let it reflect on how it has already transformed things that were difficult in your daily life. Be present, be here, allow. During this meditation, we have spent a long time immersed in crystalline energy. I have helped you become familiar with what it might potentially manifest or feel like. So as you live your life, as you pray or meditate, remember that crystalline energy is a universal light energy. It creates balance. It creates deeper perceptions. It expands all your senses. It rebalances everything within you. So I invite you to be open. I invite you to receive, and I invite you to create the life you truly desire. Dearest ones, know that I am always with you and within you. And Celia.